Hey guys, TJ Miller with IDI. Today's video we're going to be talking about how to properly store our spray foam equipment. We already went through and flushed out the A side, and that's what we're going to be mothballing today. Mothballing the A side because that's the side that's going to set up. We've already went through, we flushed it all out with our ISO flush. Now we're going to be using a different solution to put it into storage. We're using SurfaLube. It's another product from GSP. This is going to replace your hydraulic fluids, your mineral oils, any other of those plasticizers. The great thing about this is it's biodegradable, it doesn't solidify, zero VOCs, and this will not freeze even upwards of 90 degrees below Fahrenheit. So if you're storing that rig outside, this is a must to use. So the process we're going to do, we got to make sure we try to get all of the leftover material out of this stick foam before we put it into our SurfaLube. Try to get our last remaining bit of flush out of there. So I'm just going to finger that foot valve to make sure I get all that flush out. Now that I've got all the flush out, I'm going to go ahead and set that into my bucket of SurfaLube. Now I can go ahead and grab my manifold, and I'm going to use that SurfaLube to purge out and almost squeegee out all of that ISO flush that's in there. Because this product is a little bit thicker than the ISO flush, so it should almost work as a squeegee to squeegee that flush product out of there. While that's purging that ISO flush out, one thing I want to make mention of is if you have return lines on that A side, make sure that we're purging that out the same. Flush it the same, strain it the same, and purge it out the same with that SurfaLube to make sure that that's stored properly as well. We're only doing the A side today. Typically the B side can be left alone, but make sure you check with your manufacturer of whatever product you're using to make sure that that's okay. For the minimal amount of money, I would just go ahead and purge it out with the SurfaLube and make sure it's stored correctly as well. In fact, if you're using open cell, the blowing agent in that open cell product is water. So make sure that just check with the manufacturer as far as storing that B side of that system. But almost always, actually not almost, every single time, we need to store it with the proper solution. Notice how the viscosity has changed again. The SurfaLube is a slightly thicker product than the ISO flush, so you can see the transition, but we want to make sure that we use enough of that SurfaLube to make sure we purge out all of that flush and all of that leftover possible isocyanates that's in the system to make sure we don't have any issues when we go to eventually fire all this equipment back up in the spring. So we use roughly 2 gallons to purge out all of that ISO flush on the A side of the system with 150 feet of hose. You could use a slightly different amount if you're going to do the B side, or you have 200-300 feet of hose. So give us a call. We can help you figure that out. Give us a call for anything. If you have any questions or concerns on anything that we've talked about today, please like and share this video. TJ Miller with IDI. Thanks for watching.